Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm playing series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. Stuff I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this was definitely intended to be a nice springtime treat, but at the time I'm doing this, it's like about like 60 degrees out. So anyway, folks, it's super simple format. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna try out food and/or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside the truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, oh, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today, folks? Well, it happens to be one I've worn in the past. It's my Boom! My Sumo Psycho shirt. Which I absolutely love this shirt, man. This is just such a fucking cool shirt. If you're unfamiliar with Sumo Psycho, they are a band out of Canada. I actually had no idea who the fuck they were. But last year in 2023, they went on tour with a band called Nonpoint, and they were one of the opening bands, and I was floored. Like, genuinely, was just super enthralled by what they were putting on. It was super cool to see them up there doing what they were doing, and on top of that, aside from them just being kick-ass musicians and, really just putting their full energy into it, it honestly, in a lot of ways, it kind of brought me back to my younger days as a concert goer. Back in my like 19, 20, 19 to 20 range and everything. Just like the way they had the crowd going and everything. It was super cool. I liked them so much, not only did I get a shirt, I also bought a bunch of CDs, but I actually have videos of their performance that I attended on this channel as well, just in case maybe you're interested in some cool music stuff. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why is it a frozen treat that should have been for spring? Because, folks, I headed back out to Boom! Wendy's, but specifically, this is their new orange Dreamsicle flavored Frosty. And if you follow anything, like I've reviewed a few of their flavored Frosties, the way that Wendy's does it is, their standards are their vanilla and their chocolate, and every so often, sometimes monthly, sometimes kind of whenever, they will go over there and they will switch out the vanilla for some new flavor variation. And they've done strawberry and peppermint and what have you. This one was clearly designed for like a nice, warm spring day. It is spring at the time that we're doing this, but again, it is like about 60 degrees out at the time. So, I don't give a damn. I will do it whenever. So let's get the thing for the thing. I'd heard they were doing a new flavor, and I was like, yeah, I gotta, I try to keep a bridge to this stuff. So let's open it up and get a thing for the thing real quick. And I do so enjoy a Frosty every now and again. Last one I reviewed was their pumpkin spice Frosty. If you can go watch that video. And then let's get a thing for the thing. It's nice and thick. Ha 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 ha! Yeah. Let's give it a go. Ooh, that's good. That's real good. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I was even vaguely surprised that this worked. Orange Dreamsicle is already fucking ice cream. All you gotta do is just go over there and take kind of a, orange flavoring, add it to their vanilla. There you go. But no, it's good. I like it. It does kind of run into the issue that I've had with some of their other flavored Frosties, which is that, although tasty, they do tend to be a bit light on flavor. And, I think for their vanilla and their chocolate, it works fine. But I think the problem that they run into to a certain extent with the flavored ones is, again, they're and somebody explained it to me, like, all they're doing is just building on top of their vanilla. That's how they're doing it. So, and maybe that's incorrect. That was, how it was explained to me, though, by a former worker at Wendy's. The problem is when you're building on vanilla, there's only so many places you can go with it. Whereas if you were to craft it from the ground up, you could probably go over there and give it some extra oomph. And that's kind of the case with this. It's good. It has a nice vanilla flavor, as one would imagine. And then it does have a noticeable dreamsicle quality. And it's not just like an orange quality. Like it really does, kind of emulate that orange dreamsicle mix of orange and cream. That is so very nice. But yeah, it just is one of those things where it's like, as tasty as it is, when you think about the makeup of an actual orange dreamsicle, right? Like the actual thing, it's basically an orange popsicle with, like a vanilla cream center. Vanilla ice cream center, what have you. So you get like a nice strong hit of the orange dreamsicle, and then you get the nice creaminess. It's that contrasting flavors thing that I always go on so much about. And it works really, really well. With this, you're kind of doing the opposite, like you're building off of the vanilla. So what you get is a lot more vanilla, and that orange dreamsicle aspect is definitely more muted. But it is very tasty. Like, there's nothing to dislike about it. Doesn't have any weird aftertaste or taste chemically or anything. It's nice. It's just, for it to work, and I'm not saying that it's trying to perfectly emulate the Dreamsicle experience. It's obviously, it's in a Frosty format. But it is just one of those things where, yeah, eating this kind of makes me appreciate what the Dreamsicle does so well even more, because it's a little bit of a pale imitation, if I'm being honest with you. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm gonna go with sure and sure. I think that this one, compared to like the pumpkin spice one that I reviewed a couple months back, I think it works a little bit better. And it feels, whereas with the pumpkin spice one, it felt like they basically were like, all right, everybody does pumpkin spice, let's do pumpkin spice. With this one, I feel like there's a little bit more like, okay, it's a springtime flavor. There's a little bit more intention behind it, I guess. It's nothing remarkable, and it's nothing that I would personally go out of my way to get again. But would I occasionally go over there and get it while it's on offer? Yeah, I think I would. If I'm going through Wendy's, I don't usually get a Frosty. Like maybe 1 out of like 3 or 4 times I'll tag in a Frosty to my order. Yeah, it's fun. I think that, again, it does a pretty good job of emulating the flavor, even if it doesn't pack the wallop, of flavor that a real orange dreamsicle does. It's still a nice little treat, and I can understand why they released it for summer. If I'm recommending it, it would be under, again, I was like, sure. It's not a huge ringing endorsement, so it does really kind of fall under that same premise that I was talking about for myself. Should you go out of your way for it? No. Like, if for whatever reason you're in some area where it's like you don't have a Wendy's, except for like maybe 3 towns over, don't. It's really not worth it. Not unless you're the biggest orange dreamsicle fan in the world. But if you happen to go to Wendy's, if it's still available and you see it there, yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, it's a fun little springtime treat, and it does what it's supposed to do for the most part, even if it's not tremendously impressive. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there and have yourselves a truly proper orange dreamsicle-tastic rest of your life, because you can't beat a proper orange dreamsicle, right? I mean, it's one of those beautiful things, like one of mankind's perfect creations, I feel. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in said situations where we're dealing with that bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, do you have a favorite frozen treat that you'd like to see Wendy's emulate? I personally think I would like, and they'd never do it because it would require more effort, but I would love to see them go over there, team up with Good Humor. I would like to see them bring back the chocolate almond. Because that was like one of their like longest running, ice cream bars they had was the chocolate almond bar, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then I think in 2023 they nixed it. They're like, we got other flavors, blah blah. Bitch, you keep that one going. It doesn't fucking matter if it doesn't sell that well. First of all, they're delicious. Second of all, you keep that one because of tradition. That was definitely some freaking executive bullshit business guy decision. And oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. No offense to anybody like who studies business or anything like that, or people who do that type of work. That's incredibly important to our society. However, just like with anything, boy oh boy does that shit need to be reined in hard. All you have to do is look at the current situation with Boeing to see exactly when that shit goes off the rails. When you just let the executives make all the decisions and they have no idea what they're doing on that level. But anyway. Yeah. I went on a weird little rant there. But yeah, if you do happen to have anything like that, hit me up in the comments about it. I'd love to hear what your personal favorite frozen treats were, /are. Bye.